The house was louder than it had been in years. Laughter bounced off the walls, cousins argued over card games, and the smell of spiced rice drifted from the kitchen. It was my parents' 25th anniversary, the kind of milestone that pulls everyone back home, even the ones who pretend they're too busy to come. I stood near the doorway, watching my father accept hugs and praise. To everyone else, it was steady, reliable, the man who never missed a bill, never raised his voice, never broke a promise. He wore that reputation like a tailored suit. It fit him perfectly. Or so we thought. I'm the middle child, the observer by habit, while my oldest sister, Sarah, handled the guest list, and my younger brother, Ion, chased cousins around the yard. I floated between rooms, refilling drinks and collecting empty plates. That's when I noticed the phone. It wasn't Dad's usual one, the cracked black phone he'd used forever. This was sleek, silver, face down on the side table by the stairs. It vibrated once, then again. A name flashed on the screen before it dimmed. Lena. I told myself it was nothing. A colleague, a distant relative. Anyone could be named Lena. But the phone buzzed again, insistently, as if annoyed at being ignored. I picked it up before I could stop myself. No luck. The screen opened with a thread of messages. Can't wait to see you tonight. Did you tell them yet? Aren't you tired of pretending? My stomach dropped. I glanced around. Everyone was busy. Music swelled from the living room. Dad stood near the cake, smiling for photos. I slipped the phone into my pocket and walked outside, my heart pounding so loud I was sure someone would hear it. I shouldn't have looked. I knew that. But curiosity has sharp teeth. The messages painted a life I didn't recognize. The late dinners, shared jokes, plans and places Dad always claimed were work trips. Photos, too, not explicit, but intimate in a way that made my chest tighten. Lena existed in a world where my father laughed differently, dressed differently, lived differently. I sat on the steps, breathing through the shock. Part of me wanted to march inside and confront him in front of everyone. Another part wanted to throw the phone into the bushes and pretend I'd never seen a thing. I chose neither. Instead, I waited. When the cake was cut and gifts exchanged, Dad slipped away to the study. I followed, closing the door behind me. He looked up, surprised, then smiled the familiar, safe smile. What's wrong? He asked. I placed the phone on the desk. The smile faded. For a long moment, he said nothing. He didn't reach for the phone. He didn't deny it. He just sank into the chair, suddenly older than I'd ever seen him. I was going to tell you, he said quietly. When my voice came out steadier than I felt. After tonight. After another year. He rubbed his hands together. A nervous habit from my childhood. It started years ago. I felt invisible. Your mother and I, we became roommates. Lena made me feel seen. The words hurt in ways I didn't expect, not just because of the betrayal, but because they sounded human, flawed, weak. Nothing like the man I'd the Billy of it. In What About Mom? I asked. He closed his eyes. I never meant to hurt her. Intentions didn't change consequences. We sat there in silence while the party carried on outside. Finally, I stood. You need to tell her tonight. He nodded, tears pooling, and for the first time in my life, my father looked afraid of me. I found my mother in the kitchen, laughing with an aunt. When she saw my face, her smile faltered. We stepped into the hallway together. I didn't tell her everything just enough. The rest belonged to them. What followed was messy, voices raised, then broke. Doors closed. Guests left early, murmuring excuses. The celebration dissolved into something raw and real. Later that night, after the house had gone quiet, I lay awake thinking about the versions of people we carry in our heads, how we polish them, how we defend them, how easily they shatter. My father didn't stop being my father that night, but he stopped being a myth. And in the wreckage of that discovery, I learned something harder than any secret. Love doesn't disappear when truth shows up, but it does change shape.